Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Good morning. Good morning. It is Friday, y'all. We made it. We are here. I ain't gonna tell you no story. I woke up this morning feeling some type of way. I didn't want to get out of my bed. But I'm gonna try. I came here determined to keep the energy. Go ahead and do what we came here to do. As always, I am excited to be here. I hope y'all can hear me. I'm trying not to strain my little voice today, baby, because come on. Before we jump in on this talk, before we get to it, for those that don't know me, I am Coach Tawanda. I'm a called and certified personal development and goals coach, self-published best-selling author, and I'm the podcast host of Talks with Tawanda. It's a space, bless it, Lord. It's a space that is created to help us to heal, to help us believe, and to help us to walk intentionally. You understand? Yeah, I got my robe on today. I got clothes on, but baby, it's so, when you feel a little bad and don't feel, for me, I'll just say for me, when I be feeling a little down, it's just something about my cozy little, robe. I'm in the house today. Don't nobody need to call me to do nothing that's going to consist of me going outside of that door. Today is just not going to happen. Before we get started, I want to take a moment again to invite you to something special, something I've been working hard on, something I'm excited about. And all week we've been doing some inner work. We've been understanding ourselves, our strengths, our values, our identity. And I know for myself, this is a journey. It just don't stop here. It's something that we continue to do over and over because it helps us to continue to create the version of us that we are destined to meet. So before we get real deep, as I say, I want to invite you to the Vision and Goals worksheet. Go ahead. I fixed the link. The link was not clicking, but I fixed the link. I realized what I did, really. It wasn't no fixing. It was just doing what I didn't do to make it work. So you can go in the bio, click the link, and go ahead and check it out and join us. There's options there. There's options on dates. There's option on spots. So go ahead and join us for the upcoming workshop. The first is around the corner. And to be honest, good morning. The first is around the corner. I'm kind of at capacity for the first. So go ahead and check out the 15th or any later dates for that matter. For etiquettes and respect, I want to be honest with you before we get started. I do not think I'm going to hit the mute fast enough if I have to cough or blow my nose. I'm going to say excuse me, but baby, we just going to have to get into it because we all know what it's like when it's like this, okay? Let's go ahead and roll on to day 5. I'm excited about day 5. I wish I didn't have to have this light in my face. I'm excited about day 5. This week, we have done some powerful work. If you have been following this week, this has been our self-awareness and identity journey. I have dropped some great information. We have worked on some things for those that have been following throughout this week. I am just trusting in my heart that they have taken the information that has been given and applied it to life. And if that is so, today, let's go ahead and bring that thing all together because on day 1, we talked about self-awareness. We slowed down and we looked at self-awareness and we really allowed ourselves to see where we were. We allowed ourselves to see ourselves clearly. On day 2, we explore strengths and weaknesses. It's important to know your strengths and weaknesses. Good morning, B. It's important to know your strengths and your weakness because, again, it allows you to honor and empower who you are. Sometimes we can just focus on what we're not good in, and we forget about the things that we are good in. And if you allow yourself to look at both, then you're allowed to you give yourself permission to walk. To work within your strengths, but work on your weaknesses. Because again, when we find out areas we're weak in, why not work on them? Why not strengthen them? It does not mean because we're weak in them at this moment that we have to continue to be there. Day 3, we dug into your values. Those things that really guide you, that protects your peace, that shapes your decisions, they're your values. Those things that really sit at the core of who you are. Yesterday, day 4, now day 3 and day 4, honey, they kept me up on this thing a long time, and I loved every bit of it. But day 4, we talked about identity. Who are you at the core? We're not talking about the roles. We're not talking about the titles. We're not talking about the expectations, because we all at some capacity and within life, we wear many hats. Those hats does not define our identity. Our identity is who we are when we take all of those things off, when we take the titles off and we stand authentically as ourselves. Who are we? What do we stand for? That's what we talked about yesterday. When you're thinking about your identity, you have to think about that as for yourself, not the expectations of others. Come on with it, day 5. Y'all, I'm cranking it up. It's just like one of them old cars. Y'all know, yeah, them old cars, and you got to go out there and get. That's how I feel. Bless the Lord. That's how I feel a little bit. But come on with it. This is day 5. We're going to bring this thing all together, because living intentionally is what happens when peace come into alignment. When your awareness and your strengths and your value and your identity start working together, it guides how you show up. Okay? It's not by accident. We ain't just stumbling into places. Now, I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say. I ain't gonna say be good to one to be good. I'm gonna say it. I'm saying it because this is just me. I was talking to somebody the other day, and it was actually a joke. He had made the statement and said, "Yeah, I got 4 beautiful kids." He acknowledged all of them. He said, "But that last one was a oof." He said, "I kind of stumbled into that thing." Some of us just stumbling over into life. You got that oops out of stumbling. We get the stumbling, and we don't know. We're gonna stumble into some bull. Hey, shut your mouth. We're not going to show up just by accident. We're not going to show up because of pressure. We're going to show up by choice. We're going to show up because we want to be in that space. We intentionally map this out for ourselves. So let's talk about what it actually looked like. What do living intentionally actually look like every day? Taking naps, because baby, when I get up off it, let me stop. I still be having those punchlines. Listen. I be trying, but it's just not me. If I didn't say silly stuff, that even if I just laughed by myself, it may not even be funny to y'all. But sometimes the way my mind be set up, for those that really know me, know that I'm human before I'm anything else. But the way when we allow ourselves to live intentionally every day, it's going to reflect. It's going to reflect who you really are. It's going to reflect, your heart. If y'all on here, go ahead and tap that screen for me. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to stop here for a second. Now, this is for you and I. Tapping that screen, you showing up for you. Tapping that screen, you showing up for me. I got some goals to complete this week. And listen, I just showed up in this thing with, feeling like I'm feeling like somebody just shot the cags up on me. Come on and tap that screen. Help me out. Show some love. If your hands are free, let's do it. In this self-awareness and identity series, we've spent the week digging deep into who we are. We spent the week talking about just being aware of self. We spent the week talking about our strengths and our weaknesses, our value, our identity. When you take all of those things, all of those aspects of life and who we are, and you put them together, which we're doing today, you just go ahead and put them all together. It's going to allow for us to live intentionally. Living intentionally means showing up who you are, showing up as who you are. Who are you? Showing up as who you are, not just in parts of your life, but in every aspect of your life, in your relationships, in your career, in your decisions, in your goals. It's about aligning yourself with your values, your strengths, and your identity, and not just aligning yourself. Do it intentionally, and you just stand on it. Stand on it because that's who you are. Ain't no need of becoming and then go back to where you came from. No, we moving forward. We're gonna do it intentionally, because when we live intentionally, we feel that sense of freedom, that confidence start to rise, that clarity. It's here, it's there. We know exactly what we're doing, where we going, and all the things. When we allow ourselves to live intentionally, we don't feel stuck. Now, yesterday, y'all, I was feeling stuck when I ate that plate. Bless my heart. I did feel a little stuck, but that ain't the stuck we talking about. And I'm sure that a lot of us felt stuck on that couch yesterday after putting all that food on that plate, but that ain't what we talking about. We talking about life. You feel drained. You feel like you're consistently wearing masks to please everybody. You're showing up in spaces to be who other people need you to be, who other people want you to be, but you are forgetting to bring your true self into those spaces. Today, we're going to look at practical ways to live intentionally. I like living intentionally. I like, it was a time where, like, the moves I made, it seems like I was people pleasing. Let me go. We ain't even gonna try to get all deep and fancy with it. We just gonna call it what it was. I was people pleasing. I was trying to be everywhere for everybody, doing everything, and I was forgetting about myself. That is draining. I had to do some things, and it wasn't just saying what I wanted to do or saying how I wanted to happen. No, I had to align some decisions. I had to investigate myself. Everything that I had learned throughout time, and everything we've learned throughout this week is what I've learned throughout time. And let me tell you, moving in that space, I have to me, I have a simple life. I love it though. I'm not I'm not comparing myself to nobody else. I'm not worried about it. I ain't racing. Only person I'm racing is myself. And I really ain't racing. I'm intentionally going through it, because baby, running for what? These knees ain't good enough for all that I done told y'all. Don't be expecting something from me that I don't have the capacity to give. Come on with it. Why does it matter? Okay, myself, I don't care about, I ain't got nothing to hide. I embrace my 44. Sometimes, people don't want to share their age and things of that nature. Their business, not mine. I'm embracing every bit of it. However, at 44 years old, um, thinking back at the time that it took me to make a decision to choose me. So when I look back at life and look back over those moments, and I look at life now versus then, even those small little steps that was taken to in that process of me becoming, baby, it matters. It matters because I'm not allowing other people's expectation to dictate how I move in life. I'm not comparing myself to others, and then getting all mad and carrying on the inside, thinking that I ain't got blessings waiting on me, not understanding that I'm looking at somebody else's blessings, so I can't even see what's there for me. Like all those things. Um, Alignment, or living out of alignment with yourself, it's uncomfortable. Do you just sometimes have those moments where you just feel uncomfortable? Your energy just drained, and your confidence ain't really there. Your direction really there. It's uncomfortable. That's why it matters. It matters. Living intentionally matters because it's uncomfortable when you don't. Well, Coach Tawanda, how do I know if I'm not living intentionally? Well, these are some things that you may notice: stress and exhaustion, not just from doing everything for everybody else, but from ignoring your own needs, your own dreams, your own well-being. So myself, when I stepped out of space and I started working on self, I started setting boundaries and all the things, I realized I had to replace it with something. And even in those moments, so I didn't got away from doing everything and showing up for everybody. But then I needed to take the time to actually show up for what I needed. I had needed to show up for my dreams, my well-being. So there's things that has to be put in place. So if you're feeling that stress and exhaustion, and you ain't showing up for everybody else, it's just mean you need just a little bit more focused time on self. Confusion and indecisive. It's always been this little cute thing of, women don't be knowing what they want to eat and stuff like that. I know now. There was a time, because again, where it seemed like, how can sometimes you have an idea of what you want, but you're not allowing yourself to be in the space of trusting your decisions and making the choices that feels right for you. So the choices that you're making, even sometimes with trying to decide what you're going to eat, it gets a little heavy. You have to get to the point to understand that if there's confusion and indecisiveness in there, we just got to get clear on what really matters to us. That's it. It's simple. It's simple. Everything about this week has been simple. And the reason I say it's simple, because all the time and energy that we have put into everyone else is the time and energy we get to put into ourselves. It's scary sometimes, I know, but it is so worth it in the end. People pleasing and overcommitting. We trying to be everywhere, do everything. We saying yes when we should be saying no. We are stretching ourselves thin, trying to maintain peace or avoiding disappointment. This is going to be the season that some people are going to be disappointed. It's not going to be with the heart to hurt anybody, but it's going to be with the intentions of actually allowing yourself to walk in purpose. This is about you. You're going to have to say no to something. Say no to the dress. I'm just saying, just say no. You're going to have to disappoint somebody. And that's okay. It's okay, because look at it this way. If a decision that you have to make to better yourself is going to be, you can make that decision to think about self, or you can make that decision to please somebody else. At the end of it, it's a big possibility that somebody may be disappointed with the decision made. I just rather it not be me, especially when it's pertaining to my life. Regret and dissatisfaction. You get to the end of your day. Now, I like the fact that, even through life, the marriages and the decisions that was made that didn't make sense, through all those things, I don't regret it. I don't regret them because I saw where they shaped me. I saw, and I had to be accountable for the decisions that I made to allow myself into those spaces. So accountability came into space. And with having that accountability and taking those moments to really focus on myself, I was able to bring some things into alignment for myself. And that's why these things for me is very important, because I've been there. It was time, I was regretting some of everything. But when I stopped regretting what I went through in life and started looking at it and learning from the areas that I had entered into, my days just start feeling a little bit better. So if you're regretting, or if you're dissatisfied with life, when you get to the end of the day and you feel like something missing in your life, is just, you probably need to get some alignment. Little tune up, just a little tune up over here. Come on, talk to me, because that's what we're doing here. This